It's a kind of a new concept, really, in the sense that many of us go through our lives and our relationships, and we're drifting along, and we're kind of on automatic pilot. We get up in the morning, we go to work, we do our thing, we look after the kids, we spend the weekends taking the kids around to their various activities, we bring them to birthday parties and so on and so on and so on. What's happening though is that the relationship is possibly falling apart, it's drifting, it's going nowhere as such. And what happens then is people discover at a certain point that they no longer have enough in common as a couple. And they feel like they're disconnected. They feel like they're coming second to their partner's work, or they're coming second to the kids, or to the partner's addiction to their smartphone, whatever is the case may be. So one of the things I'm trying to flag with my own clients now is the idea of setting goals for the relationship, and the people can be a bit bemused.
Yeah, are they the goals like we should have 2 kids, or we should get married, or we should buy they're not those goals?
Not those kind of goals. They're kind of broad sweeping goals. It's like, yes, we're going to live in such and such a place, or have that amount of children. What I'm talking about is the kind of goals that can help people to stay more connected and to rekindle the relationship in a way that they would have had it at the very, very start of the beginning of the relationship. So things like looking at how they manage money, how they do things like romance. Do you have enough things to look forward to in your relationship as a couple? What are you doing with your time as a couple? Do your children have to go to every single activity, or can you make space for you both as a couple on a Saturday or a Sunday?
So you're not prioritising the relationship properly. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. And many of us don't prioritise the relationship. We prioritise the kids, our works, our careers, everything but the relationship. And invariably, after 10 or 20 years of doing this, it chips away very slowly but very gradually at the foundations of the relationship. And now you have things like WhatsApp, you have things like the internet, you have all these other distractions. So when people are sitting down to be by themselves as a couple, they're just disconnected because there are so many other things pulling on their attention.
So what should people do? What goals then should they have?
Well, it depends on each particular couple, what they want for the relationship, of course, obviously. But I think it's the idea of sitting down, first of all, and having the conversation is really, really important. You're essentially taking time out. Maybe go to a lobby of a hotel, have a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, maybe just open up a conversation. Well, look, here we are. We're 30 years of age, we're 40, 50 years of age, whatever age you are. What do we want now going forward from us as a couple, from this team that we are? How can we improve our relationship? How can we improve our lives as two people who are doing their very best with limited resources and limited time? So, goals like, forming a connection during the evening time because you turn off the phones. Unless you're expecting a phone call, why is your smartphone on? Turn off the WhatsApp group so you're not getting notifications from them. Really just give yourselves time to reconnect. Go on romantic dates, not just sitting out in a nice restaurant for dinner. That's not necessarily romance. Learn how to do your conflict. Everybody argues, but learn how to do conflict more effectively. Perhaps look at some online resources. Maybe go and see a therapist. Do an MOT or an NCT for your relationship. There's many, many things people can do to improve the relationship.
So you're kind of talking like if we were talking about a computer, talking about doing an upgrade.
Do an upgrade. Why not? Loading 100%. Just get there. So basically, think about what do you want to be different in the relationship as a consequence of how you're going to relate to each other better. Things like intimacy and sex, for example. People just go through the humdrum of sex and they never look at new ways, new positions, new ideas, new concepts. And I'm working with couples in a sex therapy capacity as well, I should say. And just the very basics, the fundamentals, people don't even understand, and how the bodies work, or the kind of things that you can use as couples to improve your sex life. There's a whole range of things people can do to improve different aspects of the relationship, which we just get so caught up in this I suppose, the hamster wheel of society and social living. We just never take time to do that.
Okay. So some very good advice there. Obviously, prioritise sex, stop phubbing each other with your phones, date nights, conflict resolution, counselling, all that kind of stuff, and just prioritising.
Just prioritising. And set goals that are reasonable, that are fair, and that are appropriate to the person you're in the relationship with. That's really important as well.
All right, thank you for that. Indeed, David Kavanagh will be back next week with more advice on sex and relationships. Someone has texted and said, what if only one of you is on board making goals? My wife would never go for this, even though I think it's a good idea. That would help us. Yeah, that's a problem in a lot of relationships. Only one person maybe wants to fix the problem.